All right, so here's the question. It says, we're in the market right now to buy a house. I need to buy a house for the family. I don't want my daughter growing up where we rent right now. We got the down payment together, but I'm not sure if it's the right move to buy. I had friends that bought in 2007 and got stuck. Any advice would greatly appreciate it. If not, no worries. You helped me a ton already. Okay, cool. I do have a whole approach to this. One, I don't know about your friends' issues about getting stuck in 2007. The houses today are about double the value of what they were in 2007. The market picked back up. You found some true value. And so if you stick with it for 20 years, obviously you're going to get the value of where you're at. If you didn't want to live there, then why buy? Right? That's the whole thing about buying a house. There are some people that buy houses to flip them. There are some people that buy houses just because of work puts them in a certain location, and then they buy and they figure that's a great investment. But if you're going to live in it forever and this is what you want to do, a couple things you can do to if you want to time the market type style, right? Like for me personally, I didn't want to buy my house. I was like, oh, I don't know. I know I could keep renting and I'll find the right opportunity when the market corrects and things come down, or because you're uncertain, right? You always feel that way in your heart. Take that part out of the equation. Take the whole idea that you need to time it at the right time. You're going to get your value for your house. If you pay for it and you put it in and you put the work in, the value of the home and the security of the home, it actually cures your heart in a way. Believe it. But I will tell you this from like a business standpoint. Something that my wife taught me. Now, my wife's in real estate. You know this. She understands property management. She understands renting, buying. She understands commercial, a lot of stuff. Uh, she always said, if you're going to buy a home, before you buy a home, you should rent a house of equal value. Rent the house of equal value. Don't use your down payment, right? Save your down payment that you just saved up, but go rent a home for a year, maybe even two, just to feel the pressure of the monthly payments. That's one. And then two, the maintenance, the upkeep on the house is not on you. If an AC breaks down, it's on the landlord, right? All the above. But rent a home where you want to live. Get a feel for the neighborhood. Get a feel for the commute. All of these things you take into consideration. And then you can go, so you know what, now I'm going to go bite the bullet, right? Maybe the market corrects by then, or maybe you're doing better off. But I do also want you to take this into consideration. Because I don't worry about rates and stuff. All that can be adjusted in time. Right? You go buy in because you want to live in the area and you can afford to live in the area, so then you're going to live there. And 3 years down the road, you've paid enough off on principal, and now you're going to get rid of the PMI and all this other stuff, right? That people tell you. 10 years later, you can refi, you can do all this when the time's right. And who cares? You want to live where you want to live, and you want to enjoy your atmosphere. But I will give you this little bit of info as you do it. When you are budgeting to buy a home, please, for the love of God, do not tell me that this is how much I can afford, right? I can afford a house for this much. I can afford $3,500 a month. And then you budget based off of that. No. You have to remember, you've been buying cars your whole life, right? How do you buy cars? How would you tell a kid to buy a car? You would say, you know what? When you buy a car, it's not just the car payment, it's the insurance, it's the upkeep, it's the tires, the brakes, the oil changes, and the gas, right? Like there's a lot to a car than just the car payment. Most kids don't know this because they just see the payment, the sticker, and I can afford $400 a month. Well, the same thing for a house. The house is just not the mortgage. The house is so much more. And like for me, on our home, I think our mortgage has gone up $400 in the last 3 years because of home insurance and escrow. Home insurance went up in the state of California, and it was a crazy amount of money. It went up 300%. And I was like, what? And taxes went up. And I was like, what? Home insurance, taxes, everything still increases. So it's not like a fixed rate, even though you have a fixed rate and your mortgage is this, there's still other expenses onto that house that you have to take into consideration. And certainly if you're not getting promoted fast enough, if you're not getting increases at work, or even if you turn into a headwind, right? If somebody gets laid off and you don't have money and you lose a job, or there's industry trends that change, all of this things that people have lived. And then the last part about this, Dan, just so that we're very clear. Losing a home is not the end of the world. I want people to know this. And there's a lot of there's that moment when people lose houses or they lose like a vehicle or a job or something. It's always something like, okay, this happened to me. Now, how do I get past it? Very simple. You can downsize for the moment. You can grind it out. You can figure it out, and you will, because you have God. and God has your back. Believe it. Believe in something. But I will tell you this. These are all things to consider when buying a home. Good luck to you. Peace.